You're sitting there minding your business. And then it happens. Your baby, who was perfectly content 2 seconds ago, launches themselves at you like you are the only solid thing in a world that is falling apart. Not beside you. Not near you. On you. Chest. Stomach. Face if they can get there. Both hands gripping. Full body weight committed. An urgency that feels almost animal. You probably laughed. Or gently moved them off. Or thought, here we go again. But here is the thing nobody ever told you. That moment, that specific physical, seemingly chaotic behavior, is not your baby being a baby. It is your baby's nervous system executing one of the most sophisticated survival strategies the human brain knows how to run. And what is happening underneath it will change the way you see every single one of those moments for the rest of your life. 1. The word clingy is one of the most damaging words in parenting. Let's start there. Because the word clingy does something harmful before the conversation even begins. It frames the baby as the problem. It implies neediness. Manipulation even. The idea that if you just held firm a little longer, responded a little less, the baby would learn to be more independent. Here is what the science actually shows. In the first year of life, your baby's body cannot regulate itself. Not as a limitation. Not as a stage they should be growing out fast enough. As a biological fact of what it means to be a human infant. Heart rate, cortisol, body temperature, breathing rhythm. None of these systems have the neurological infrastructure to self-manage yet. They need a regulator outside themselves. And that regulator is you. The Harvard Center on the Developing Child calls this co-regulation. The process through which a caregiver's calm, organized nervous system physically helps stabilize a baby's disorganized one. When your baby presses their body against yours, your heartbeat begins to slow theirs. Your breathing pattern pulls theirs into rhythm. Your warmth stabilizes their temperature. This is not poetic language. Research published in Biological Psychiatry confirmed that infants with consistent caregiver contact showed measurably lower cortisol levels and more stable autonomic nervous system function than infants with limited contact. Their physiology was more organized, more regulated, more capable, because your body was doing for them what their body could not yet do alone. So when your baby climbs on you, they are not being clingy. They are borrowing your nervous system. Because theirs is still under construction. And you, without realizing it, are the most sophisticated piece of biological technology they have access to. 2. They are looking for something they lost the day they were born. Here is something worth sitting with. Before your baby ever heard your voice clearly, before they saw your face, before they knew your smell or felt your hands, they knew one thing about you with absolute certainty. Your heartbeat. For 9 months. That rhythm was the organizing principle of their entire existence. Every sleep, every stillness, every moment of calm was arranged around it. It was not background noise. It was the architecture of their world. And then birth happened. And it was gone. Not metaphorically gone. Gone. The rhythm that had been constant for the entire duration of their existence disappeared. When your baby climbs onto your chest, specifically your chest, they are not just seeking warmth. They are finding that rhythm again. Research on kangaroo care, which began with premature infants and expanded to healthy newborns, found that skin-to-skin contact on a caregiver's chest produced measurable reductions in infant stress, improved sleep quality, better weight gain, and stronger early brain development. The proposed mechanism was not temperature. It was not smell. It was the heartbeat. The same rhythm the baby's nervous system spent 9 months learning to trust. When they land on your chest and go still, that is not tiredness. That is recognition. Their brain is finding something it has been looking for since the moment they arrived. Something it remembers in a place deeper than memory. And if this is already changing how you hear those moments when your baby just will not be put down, hit like and subscribe. This is the kind of science every parent deserves before the hard nights start. Not after. 3. To your baby, when you leave the room, you cease to exist. This one takes a moment to absorb. For the first several months of life, your baby does not have the cognitive capacity for what developmental psychologists call object permanence. The understanding that things continue to exist when they are no longer visible. For an adult, this is so automatic it is invisible. You know your keys are in the drawer even when you cannot see them. You know your partner is at work even when you are at home alone. The world persists in your mind independent of your senses. Your baby does not have this yet. When you walk out of the room, you do not go anywhere. You stop being. There is no "she'll be back in a minute." There is only a world that contains you and now does not. A world that feels, at the level of their nervous system, like it has dropped something essential through a hole in the floor. When your baby climbs on you during this developmental window, part of what they are doing is verification. You are real. You are solid. You are here. The world has not lost its most important thing. And here is the part that surprises most parents. The babies who are most distressed by separation, who cling most intensely, who seem most frantic around 9 to 12 months, are not the ones falling behind. They are the ones whose brains are actively building the concept that you continue to exist when they cannot see you. The intensity of the need is the sign of a developing mind. Your baby is not falling apart. Your baby is learning that the world is continuous. And right now, you are the only proof they have. 4. After 6 months, the climbing becomes a question. Something shifts around 6 to 9 months that most parents notice, but very few understand. The climbing stops being random and starts being deliberate. Your baby doesn't just launch themselves at you. They launch themselves at you and then immediately look at your face. They make contact and check your expression, like they came for something specific, and your face is where they find it. That is not a coincidence. That is social referencing. Developmental psychologists use that term to describe a behavior that is far more sophisticated than it looks. Your baby is using your emotional response as information about the world. They climb on you, press against you, and then read your face to answer the question their brain is asking on a loop. Is this safe? Are you okay? Is the world alright right now? A study from the University of California found that 8-month-old infants consistently adjusted their own emotional responses based on their caregiver's facial expression in ambiguous situations. When the caregiver looked warm and calm, the baby relaxed. When the caregiver appeared tense or distracted, the baby became unsettled, even when nothing in their environment had objectively changed. What this means in practical terms is that when your baby climbs on you, they did not come for your body alone. They came for your face. The contact is the question. Your expression is the answer. When you look down at them with ease and warmth, you are transmitting something directly into their nervous system. The world is fine. You are fine. We are safe. When you look down distracted, stressed, or impatient, you are transmitting something different, even when you didn't mean to. This is not pressure to perform emotions you don't have. It is an invitation to understand what the moment actually is. Your baby is asking you to tell them how the world is today, and your face is already answering, whether you know it or not. 5. Every time you let them climb on you, you are building something that lasts decades. Here is the part that gets lost in the exhaustion. When you have been climbed on repeatedly and your body is tired and you just want 5 minutes that belong entirely to you, it is almost impossible to feel like these moments matter beyond getting through them. But every single one of them is a deposit into an account developmental researchers call secure attachment. And the returns on that account are not small. The Minnesota longitudinal study followed individuals from infancy all the way into adulthood and found that infants who developed secure attachment went on to show stronger emotional regulation, more stable relationships, greater capacity to recover from adversity, better mental health, and higher academic performance than their insecurely attached peers. Not because they were smarter, not because they had easier lives, because someone showed up when they reached out. That is the entire mechanism. The baby who climbs on you and is received with warmth is building an internal model of reality. A model that says, when I reach out, something reaches back. When I am overwhelmed, safety is available. When the world is too much, there is a place to land. That model, built in these physical, ordinary, unglamorous moments, becomes the template for every significant relationship they will ever have. Their friendships, their partnerships, their capacity to ask for help, to give it, to trust that connection is real. You are not spoiling them. You are writing the first chapter of how they understand what it means to be close to another person. Write it well. 6. What to do when you genuinely cannot be climbed on one more time. Nothing above means you are required to be a human climbing frame without end. You are a person. You have a body with limits. And sustainable parenting requires that you stay regulated enough to remain the regulator. That is not a luxury. That is a biological necessity. So here is what the research actually supports when you need to step back. It is not the separation that causes damage. It is unnarrated, unpredictable separation. The difference between those two things is enormous. When you need to put your baby down, narrate it. Say out loud, in whatever words feel natural, I am putting you here. I am right here. I am not leaving. Your voice after the physical contact ends as a bridge. It tells their nervous system that you have not vanished, that the connection persists even when the contact pauses. Research on parental responsiveness consistently shows that infants placed down with warmth, words, and a present caregiver settle significantly faster than infants placed down in silence. The crying that follows unnarrated separation is not just preference. It is a nervous system responding to what it registers as disappearance. Use your voice. Stay visible. Come back quickly enough that the return becomes its own message. That message, delivered 1,000 times across the early years, is the foundation of everything. I always come back. A baby who internalizes that truth does not become more dependent. They become more free, because they are no longer spending their energy monitoring whether you will disappear. They already know the answer. Your baby climbs on you because millions of years of evolution built them to do exactly that. To seek the one body in the world their nervous system recognizes as safe. To borrow your heartbeat when theirs is too fast. To press against you to verify that the world still has you in it. To read your face for the answer to a question they cannot yet speak. They are not being difficult. They are being human. And in the way you receive that, with presence, with patience, with the willingness to be found again and again, you are answering the deepest question a person can ask at the very beginning of their life. Am I worth coming back to? Make sure they know. The answer is yes. It has always been yes. And one day, when they no longer need to climb on you to know it, they will carry that yes into every room they walk into for the rest of their life. Because you gave it to them here. In these ordinary, exhausting, irreplaceable moments.